UFC 303, Alex Pereira versus Yuri Procházka. This was supposed to be Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler, but Conor McGregor broke his little pinky toe, so he had to pull out. This is a better fight anyway. And we got a better co-main as well. Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez. And Anthony Smith versus Roman Dolidze. Weird fight, but it should be good. But for the first fight, Ricky Simone versus Vinicius Oliveira. Ricky Simone is a heavy pressure grappler. I mean, his striking is not the best. He's on a two fight loss streak, one KO and a decision. Oliveira, I mean, his debut, he fought Sopai, I think, and that was a really short notice fight. And if I remember correctly, it was a back and forth until the third round where Sopai gassed and just got overwhelmed and KO'd. So he's not very proven yet, so I don't know if I could, trust him. But Ricky Simone, I don't know. He's not looking very good. He seems to have hit his ceiling. And Oliveira's got the KO threat. You know, I could see him KOing him, but as of right now, he's just not been proven. Ricky has had more fights in the UFC, better competition. So I'm going to go with him for a decision win. But I could very well see Oliveira winning. On to the next fight. Ray Tessura versus Carlos Hernandez. This is think Ray Tessura's debut, yeah. He was supposed to fight on UFC Fight Night, Dolidze versus Amanov, but it got canceled. Carlos Hernandez, I mean, he's got one win, two losses. I don't know. He's not that good. He got KO'd by Tatsuro Taira. That was only his second round. I mean, I think Ray is just going to win. Prospect, I've watched highlights. He's better. Carlos Hernandez is just not very good at all. I think Tessera will probably win by a decision or a submission, maybe. On to the next fight. Andre Arlovsky versus Martin Budai. The battle of the blob and the old man. Andre Arlovsky is, he's decent, but he's so old now. Taking a lot of damage. His last two fights, he's lost. Not a good look either by who he's lost to. Pretty bad competition. Martin Budai is pretty bad. I mean, he went on a little win streak before he fought Shamil and then lost, but I mean, he's just younger, you know. He's heavier, taller. He's probably just going to win just because Arlovsky's old. I would like to see Arlovsky get it done, though, but he's probably not going to. Martin Budai is probably just going to win by a boring decision. So there's that. But on to the next one. Jillian Robertson versus Michelle Waterson Gomez. I mean, WMMA, so it is kind of sometimes hard to pick. But I like what I see from Jillian Robertson. She actually, poses her will, tries. She's got finishes. The karate hottie is just, she's 38. She is on like a 4 fight loss streak. You know, I don't see her winning this. She could, of course, but it's probably going to be a decision for Robertson. Probably, well, maybe a submission actually, but you know, I I don't think Karate Hottie's going to win. It's just she's old now and so many losses. It's just how could you pick her? On to the next one. Peyton Talbot versus Giannis Gamori. Yeah. I mean, there's not much to say about this one, to be honest. Giannis Gamori is not very impressive anywhere. And Peyton Talbot is damn good. I mean, he destroyed Cameron Simon, who's a decent prospect. I mean, he made him look like a fool in there. He KO'd him like that was dirty. He beat him up bad. I think he's just gonna get a. I mean, you see the betting odds. I mean, ain't winning no money on this one. Giannis is definitely gonna lose. I mean, the KO prop might be good, but that's about it. But Giannis is probably gonna get KO'd in the first round. I don't see it lasting very long. Maybe second round, but Peyton Talbot's gonna really hurt him in this one. He's got nothing for him. But on to the next one. Cub Swanson versus Andre Philly. Cub Swanson, I mean, he didn't even really win his last fight, to be honest. It's kind of a robbery. And he's 40 now and at featherweight. You know, I know Andre Philly just lost by Dan Ige, but Dan Ige is not bad. You know, he's got pop in his hand, and and he's a featherweight. He's in the rankings, so he's pretty good. I think at this point, Cub Swanson's probably got nothing for Andre Philly. He's too old, probably too slow. Andre Philly's got good hands. You know, his chin's a little, well, he gets cracked sometimes, but I don't think Cub Swanson is gonna crack him. So he's, Andre Philly probably a KO win. You know, maybe a decision. On to the next one. Gene Silva versus Charles Jourdain. Gene Silva has only beat Weston Wilson, right? And Weston Wilson is not that good. I mean, he somehow got a win, but that guy, whoever he fought, was just horrible. So, I mean, Charles Jourdain is a weird fighter. You know, sometimes he looks really good, and then he just comes out with bad fight IQ and just loses when he could have won, you know? But I mean, he's been proven. You know, Gene Silva has fought nobody, so I can't pick him. But he could win. But I'm gonna go with Charles Jourdain by decision. I think he could eat the shots. But on to the next: Joe Pyfer versus Marc Andre Barrios. Joe Pyfer did lose his last fight to Jack Hermanson, but I mean, he didn't get beat up that bad, you know. So I think he's probably just gonna win. He's got power. He is strong. Marc Andre Barrios is just like sloppy. He's not very good. I, Joe Piper's probably just going to get a KO, maybe a decision if because Barrio, he's got a decent chin, but I don't know. I think by the bags, Salty Joe Piper is going to win this one. On to the next one. Ian Gary versus MVP. This one is hard to pick, in my opinion. I really don't know who's going to win, but I'm going to go with Ian Gary because I just think he knows how to game plan. You know, he's a very slick striker. He took this fight, so I think he knows what he's doing. He's young. MVP is kind of old now. I think he's 37, but that doesn't really seem to matter. He looked very fast and just good against Kevin Holland. I mean, he destroyed Kevin Holland without even like he made it look like a game. He was having fun in there. So, but I don't think it's Kevin Holland is not Ian Gary, He just he's not that good. So I think Ian Gary's probably gonna win a decision. He could get KO'd though, but he doesn't have a horrible chin. He did get dropped by Song, but he ate Jeff's punches. I don't remember how clean they were, but he doesn't have the worst chin. And he fights very smart. So I'm gonna go Ian Gary by a decision win. On to the next. Myra Bruno Silva versus Macy Chiasson. I don't even know how this fight is on the main card. I don't even I don't even know who these ladies are, to be honest. But I mean, Bruno Silva, I mean, she fought for the title, so just go with her. Boring decision, probably. Who knows? I don't. That one's not that good. On to the next one. Anthony Smith versus Roman Dolidze. This is such a weird fight. I mean, it was supposed to be Jamal Hill. versus Khalil Roundtree, and then Roundtree had to pull out because of some steroids, and then Carlos Ulberg stepped in. Jamal Hill hurt himself, and Anthony Smith stepped in, and freaking Ulberg got out, and now it's freaking Delidsey. I don't know who's gonna win this fight, to be honest. I mean, probably Anthony Smith. He's just a bigger guy. They're the same age, I mean, same reach, but I mean, maybe Delidsey can win because, middleweight skill, I guess, but I don't think he's that good in middleweight, to be honest. Uh, his last fight was Manov, I believe, and he got, I'm pretty sure he was getting rocked around in that one, got knocked down, got beat up. So Anthony Smith has a little pop in his hands. He's probably gonna win a decision. Anthony Smith. I'm gonna go with him. Maybe a KO though. On to the co-main event. This is a good fight. A very good fight. But I don't think Brian Ortega is going to win. I think Diego Lopez is a good striker. He has power and is very good on the ground. We saw what he did to Evelev on 3 days' notice. You know, since then he's like first round finishes. I'm pretty sure all the way. Like he beat the crap out of Sadiq Yusuf. So I think, and how Ortega fights, just being like a little boxer in range, it's not going to work with Diego Lopez. And I don't think Brian Ortega could take him down or submit him. I think it's going to be pretty even on the ground, to be honest. So I think it's just going to be probably a striker match, and Diego Lopez is way better than Ortega. We've seen him get dropped by Yair. So we know that his chin is not, as granted as it used to be. So I'm gonna go with Diego Lopez, probably a first or second round finish. I mean, Ortega he got dropped bad by a year, and Lopez probably, I mean, doesn't hit, different striking, but he hits hard, man. You know, so I'm gonna go with Lopez for KO. On to the main event: Alex Pereira versus Yuri Procházka. This is such a good fight. You could watch these dudes fight 100 times, man, and it'd be so good. I mean, Alex Pereira did win the first one. The leg kicks gave Yuri a real issue. He wasn't able to, you know, do anything. He couldn't check him or nothing. He was tagging him up a little bit, but I don't know. It Unless Yuri can just, you know, just eat the freaking leg kicks and walk through the fire basically and just KO him, I think it's gonna happen the same way. Probably Pereira's gonna, you know, be more technical, leg kick him, break him a little bit. Yuri's gonna have no choice but to just, run in because he can't even walk hardly at that point, like the last fight, and he's just gonna get caught running in with two hooks. So, you know, I want Yuri to win because it's just very entertaining. This is gonna be a banger fight, but I think Alex Paris is probably the safe bet. He's probably just going to get a KO. Probably not a first round because, I mean, Yuri, he's got a chin, man. It's like, that's how you know Alex hits damn hard when Yuri is freaking got KO'd like that. But I'm going to go with Alex Pereira for a win by KO, probably a second round. If you have any thoughts or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. I would like to read them. Oh yeah, these are my picks and predictions for UFC 303, Alex Pereira versus Yuri Procházka. Thanks for watching.